Hey guys, Chris here. Just wanted to do a little podcast for you since I haven't done one in a while. Just wanted to talk about a few things and yeah, we'll see how this works. One of the things I want to talk about is what's going on in Ferguson. People have been asking me what do I think about it. Well, what I think about it, and it'll be really clear and short, is that let the courts figure it out. I hope the violence stops. I think people need to calm down, let the court system handle it, and we'll see what happens at the verdict, and then go from there. But as far as police militarization, I don't think the police need to have military vehicles. I don't even think the police should be able to have 3 round bursts or full auto guns. I know a local sheriff department here in Washington State, they have 3 round burst. And I'm like, why? They're citizens just like you and me, right? Why do they need fully automatic weapons? I don't understand that at all. I don't think they need them. But, we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, uh, if you haven't made any videos or anything supporting the Second Amendment, I ask you to ask yourself, why haven't you? It's not hard to videotape and do a quick video being pro Second Amendment. I know it's some people are camera shy, but you can make a video pointing at a gun and just talk about the Second Amendment. Um, it's just something to do. I know some people just don't want to make videos, but I see so many people on YouTube who have an account, and I'll click on their name when they comment on something I comment on, and they'll want to debate me or something like that. But I click on them, they have no videos, no nothing. So it's just like, okay, if you're pro Second Amendment, can you at least make a 30-second video? But I understand if you don't want to. I'm just saying, just ask yourself why you haven't made one. Other than that, that's okay. If you don't want to make it, that's cool with me. I'll still be your buddy. But I just think we need to stick together as gun owners and make pro Second Amendment videos, or just do a quick review of a gun. But anyway, enough about that. I see a lot more people nowadays are starting to conceal carry. Like in Illinois, um, the concealed weapons permits have skyrocketed, and to me that's a really good sign. Even today, I was reading articles about how in Chicago some of the violence has dropped, and they are saying it's because of concealed carry permit holders. And I agree. I think how the old saying goes: an armed society is a polite society. And we would in some of these gun groups I'm in, we would discuss the Wild West and how it wasn't really wild because everyone had a gun. You're really careful about shooting your mouth off when the person across from you has a gun. Even though you have a gun, you don't want to risk the chance of getting shot. So a lot of people back in the day, they were a little bit more, I think, respectful to each other. But you still had low lifes back then, just as you do now. I tell people, to me, there's not much of a difference, except that back then, carrying a pistol out in the open was considered pretty normal. So people have to think twice about, like I said, about saying things or doing things to somebody when that person across from you and their friends are all packing too. Nowadays, gun laws are stricter, so you see a lot more innocent people getting killed or hurt. And like we all say, the criminals do not care about gun laws, and that's something that these anti-gun people don't know, is that you already have laws on the books saying it's illegal to kill people. And it makes me mad when people say, oh, we have a gun problem in Chicago. I was like, no, you have a violence problem. You could outlaw guns tomorrow and the violence will not stop. They will use other means of killing each other, and it's just ridiculous. The gun is not the problem; it's people are the problem. And I've seen people say that, well, if you say guns kill people, then you're an idiot. And I'm like, well, guns do kill people, but it's people killing people. Okay. And I've had, like I said, people say, oh, if you think guns kill people, then you're an idiot. Well, guns do kill, but there's somebody behind the trigger. And I was trying to debate this to somebody who was anti-gun, and they're like, oh, you're going to give me that argument about how guns don't kill people, people kill people. I'm like, well, guns do kill, but I was like, there's somebody behind the trigger pulling the trigger. I'm like, it's no different than getting somebody stabbing somebody with a knife or using an axe or a chainsaw or a car. Um, it's the person that does it. It's already illegal to kill somebody regardless of what they're using. And that's something that these anti-gunners don't understand, is that taking the guns away won't do nothing. I mean, I really don't see how they expect to make a dent in crime by banning guns. To me, it's they just want to ban guns. They're anti-gun, and they want all guns banned. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. And a firearm is one of the best things you can have to defend your life. Okay, say I could see it now. You ban the guns, and then people start carrying tasers and pepper spray, and pretty soon they'll have people who are anti-pepper spray. It's like, oh, you spray them and they can't see and it hurts, and it's like, okay. I can see it happening. Also in the UK, I guess there was some protest about wanting to ban knives, and it's just like, really? You're going to ban pointy objects next? I mean, anything that could be used to stab somebody, like a pointy stick, you're going to say, oh, that's illegal. Can't have it. So yes, guns do kill, but it's people kill people. People were killing each other before guns were made, and it'll continue that way even if you take away the guns. So you really have to ask yourself, is banning guns the solution? No. How about we try to become more of a polite society rather than focusing on the gun? Let's focus on the problem, which is violence. Violence is a problem. We need to curb violence, and banning something isn't going to solve anything. It's just they're spending money in the wrong area, and that's my opinion. They're wasting money. They're wasting their time. They should be spending the money on violence prevention rather than banning guns. Oh man, I've been seeing a lot of people giving advice for new concealed carry permit holders, since I did mention concealed carry has gone up. Even my wife has recently got her concealed carry permit, but we're still waiting on her concealed carry holster. She ordered a holster from JP Holsters, and it's like a 2-month wait, like 8 weeks waiting period. So hopefully we'll have that in a couple weeks. But when she went down to get her permit, we went down there together, but by the time I got there, it was closed for the day. So she went back the next day since I had to work. She went there by herself, and she said she got there and there's like 8 people in line doing the same thing she was. And then when she was waiting, she said another 12 showed up, and they were all there to get their permits. And this was on a weekday. So it's pretty cool to see people exercising their rights to carry a firearm. Now, I don't know if these people carry all the time. I don't know. I know in Washington State, a lot of the concealed carry permit holders get their permit, so when they buy a firearm, they don't have to wait that 7-day waiting period, which is fine, whatever. But hopefully they're at least carrying their gun at least half the time, which I think is the bare minimum for carrying your firearm. I try to carry at 80 to 90% of the time when I can. I mean, there's obviously places that are against the law to carry, and only law-abiding citizens like myself will obey those laws. So, but to me, concealed carry is great. I live in a state where it's easy to get a concealed carry permit. I don't have to go through all these stupid hoops and BS training and to carry my gun. I've been shooting guns since I was 10 years old. And I look at states like my mom, she lives in Vegas. And Nevada, they require training, and the permit's expensive, and you're only limited to the gun that you're certified to carry. So if she was to carry like a Glock 19, if she switched guns, she would have to get trained on that particular gun and pass a safety course, which is really dumb, because to open carry, some states you don't need a permit or nothing, like or any training. Like in Nevada, I think you could open carry without a permit. I know it's an open carry state, and I think you can carry without getting any kind of permit or anything else like that. So that's why I see a lot of people open carry. Washington State's the same way. You don't even have to have anything to open carry. But I think to make people jump through hoops to conceal carry when criminals don't give a shit about the law is a joke. And then you make your permit like $100 or $150, which is stupid. Here it's $50 for your. It's like $52.50, and then every 5 years you can renew for I think $35 if you're not late past your expiration. So it's affordable, but anything I think above $60 is you're getting ripped off. You know, and I think there should just be constitutional carry across the board. Just like that state, Arizona, where you can conceal carry without a permit. I think every state should just be like that. You shouldn't have to have a permit to conceal carry. You know, but they can make a law saying if you get pulled over, you have to notify the cops that you're concealed carrying, which, you know, I could respect that if I didn't have to have a permit. Speaking of permits, that lady in Pennsylvania who went to New Jersey and she didn't know her concealed carry permit was not valid in that state. I'm sure you guys have heard about this, and my 2 cents on it are she should have known before she went to New Jersey. She should have looked up the laws and seen if her permit was valid in New Jersey, which New Jersey is an anti-gun state, so I don't know if any permits are valid in New Jersey. But my opinion on the matter is if your driver's license is good in any state, your concealed carry permit should be good in any state, because you have to go through a federal background check, not just a state check, a federal background check when getting my concealed carry permit. Since my state goes through a FBI background check with fingerprints and all that, if I'm approved, I should be able to carry in every single state. You know, I don't have a Washington driver's license, and they say, well, the state of New Jersey does not recognize your state driver's license, so you can't drive in our state. You know, I just don't understand that. If your state license is good in other states, why can't your concealed carry license do the same thing? But anyway, for new concealed carry holders, people ask me what kind of gun to get. I tell them go shoot a variety of guns, because what works for me might not work for them. Like, I carry a Sky CPX2, and people are like, oh, that gun's a piece of crap. And I'm like, I beg to differ. I have over 300 rounds through it and only one malfunction. And that was less than 35 rounds into the gun. It was still brand new, breaking in. Now it shoots fine. I haven't had any problems. So when people say, oh, that gun sucks, I'm like, no, it doesn't. I was like, I have videos on it. Go watch it. But I tell people, find a gun that works for you. I've changed carry guns over the last 7 years now. I've been carrying about 7 years. I started off with a couple revolvers, went to a Smith & Wesson 442. Before the Smith & Wesson revolver, I had a couple other different revolvers, and I didn't like the hammer on the revolver. It was getting caught on stuff, and so I went with the hammerless revolver. Then I went with the Glock 19 for cooler weather carry to wintertime carry, because I wanted something more than 5 rounds. And then the Sky came out, and I liked that. It was a 10+1. And then my Smith & Wesson was 5 rounds. So I got rid of the Smith & Wesson, which some people looked at me like, why'd you get rid of a really nice gun? I'm like, well, it's a nice gun, but it's only 5 rounds. And my Sky, it works. You know, 10+1. And that's my new summertime carry gun. So I tell people, go around, look at what you want. My wife, she wanted something with a safety, but she didn't like the thumb safety, and I was like, well, what about the Springfield XDS in 9mm? And she didn't know what it was, so I showed it to her. And I'm not a Springfield fan, but the gun fit what she wanted it to be. And so she went down to a gun shop, held it, looked at it, and she liked it, so she bought it. And before she bought it, I did show her some videos, and I showed her the highlights of it and what I liked and what I didn't like. And I didn't like the grip safety, but she didn't mind it. So for her, it works for her. And who knows, maybe a couple years from now, she'll want something else. But so I tell that to new shooters when you're looking to carry a gun, go out, shoot some guns, borrow your friends' guns, go out with them and shoot their guns when they go out shooting, and start getting a feel for what caliber you might want. I mean, I'm not knocking 380. If 380 is what you want, look up videos on 380 and which self-defense rounds have been best with penetration for 380. You know, so if you even if you go to a 25 auto, try to look up videos where they shoot into ballistic gel to be able to determine which concealed carry gun you want, and also what kind of ammo you're going to decide to carry. I carry in my 9s the critical defense, and then in my Glock, since it's plus P rated, I carry critical duty plus P 135 grain, and those are great rounds. And I've seen some really good videos on the ballistics of it, and for me, I think it's the best 9mm self-defense round I could buy. Others will tell me different, but I made my choice, and I went off of the research I found. So just because, you know, someone tells you 10mm is the best round in the world doesn't mean it's the best round for self-defense. I tell people carrying, you know, a bigger gun, you'll probably leave it at home more. I said carry a gun that you'll carry 24/7. So that's my advice to people wanting to get into concealed carry. Oh man, this might be a long chat. Surprised you guys are still listening if you made it this far. You know, but when I first moved to my new area, I'm near Spokane, I had to sell my reloading press, and it sucked, but we had to, you know, help pay for moving expenses, and I needed some money, so reloading press, usually they hold their value, and it was a Dillon press, and if you guys know Dillon, that's like real top of the line reloading stuff. So it was a Dillon 450. Sold it. I did want to upgrade at the time. I want to upgrade. I'm saving up right now for the Dillon 650, and for my style of shooting, it'll work fine. I don't do competition. I've thought about it, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll do competition. But the 650 has a lot of nice features to it. I was looking at the 1050. 1050 is very expensive. The 650 will work great for what I do since I mostly shoot pistol. The 1050 would work really good for 223, but I don't shoot 223 as much as I'd like to. I do. We only have one firearm in my collection that shoots 223, so for me it's just not, you know, an option. I have a few guns that shoot 9mm. We shoot a lot of 9mm. It's one of our favorite rounds, so the 650 will work just fine. So we're gonna save up for that. And if you get in the reloading, I tell people look at the Dillon 550, 450. Did I say 450? I don't know. It's a 550, and then there's also the Dillon Square deal. If you're just going to reload one type of pistol ammunition, you can get that. But the 650 works really good, and I tell people look into getting that. I was watching a YouTube video. This guy talking about cleaning your concealed carry gun like every day or something like that. I don't know. I clean my concealed carry gun once a month if I don't shoot it. Last time I shot it, I didn't clean it for 1 month on purpose and just took it out to the range and shot it just to see what would happen. And it worked just fine. I had no problems. But when I get home, I do take it off. I put it somewhere safe, and I do check it to make sure it's, you know, it's not dirty or looking nasty or grimy or anything like that. But cleaning it every day, I mean, if that's your prerogative, go ahead. I clean it about once a month, and I have a really good holster from Alien Gear Holsters. Keeps the sweat off of there. And in a few months, maybe I'll do a update on my carry holster, because the little anchors on the back, those little metal tabs, I am starting to wear off the finish off of those, but it hasn't rusted or nothing. I think it's just from my sweat and things like that. Since I don't wear an undershirt, I think it's just too hot for an undershirt. I hate them. So but I think they're stainless, so they shouldn't rust. But yeah, I'll do a video on that maybe November, December. Other than that, guys, this is probably going to be a long chat, but I want to start wrapping it up. I got some more gun reviews coming up. I try to make videos that I would watch, and so if I make a video that I'm willing to watch, hopefully others are willing to watch it too. They're pretty straight to the point. I don't have fancy editing techniques. I don't have the time to do it or the patience. I'm a very impatient person when it comes to making videos. I try to get directly to the point of the video, get the facts, get my pros and cons out there, show the video shooting, and then show the accuracy that I can achieve with it. Most of the time the guns will shoot better than you can anyway, but I try to show some accuracy with the video, post a video up, call it a day. So I don't have the money to go out and shoot thousands of rounds of ammo out of one gun and say, yeah, I put 2,000 rounds through this, no problems, you know, blah blah blah. For instance, there was a guy talking about firearms, and he also said the Sky was a piece of crap. And I was like, well, you know, I told him I got over 300 rounds through mine, only one malfunction. He's like, that's it, only 300 rounds? I'm like, well, I've only had the gun since June. And I'm like, I don't have the coin to put thousands of rounds through a gun. And the Sky, I don't think, is built for thousands upon thousands of rounds to go through it anyway. I shoot it once in a while, and I do some dry practice with it. But I commented, I was like, I only had the gun for a couple months at the time, and my Glock has over 1,500 rounds easy through it. And like I said, I tell people I can't remember the last time I had a malfunction, if I ever even had one. So, but I don't really listen to the critics a lot. If I have a gun that works for me, that's fine. And the same could be said to anybody else out there. You know, if you run a Taurus and it works for you and it doesn't jam and you have no problems with it, run it. You know, don't let people tell you, oh, that gun's crap. You know, if you buy a gun that you research and you put a lot of effort into researching and reading about and watching a lot of videos, reading other gun reviews, and you decide you want that gun, go buy that gun. Don't even let the store clerk, you know, I've asked the store clerk's opinion on stuff, and they try to steer me away from stuff, and I say, no, that's what I want. Go in there and know what you want. But that's about all I got, guys. You know, don't be afraid to try different guns. The concealed carry market is very nice right now. I hope Glock comes out with a single stack 9mm. I think it'll do very well in the market. I'm one of those guys who thinks that they came out with the Glock 42 and the single stack 380 because Glock didn't have a 380 in the market, and if they would have put the Glock single stack 9, I think that would have sold more than the 380. And I do think that if Glock makes a single stack 9mm that's comparable in size to that 380, the 9mm is going to sell even if it has less rounds in it. So I have a feeling we'll start seeing a lot of used Glock 42s come on the market, which could be good or bad, and who knows, I could be wrong. But let me know your guys' thoughts, opinions on what I said in the video or the audio file, and I'll upload this and get it out there for you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.